Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Jesus. Okay, so here's me. Here is my laptop. Here is my tea. And here are a few thoughts about life. So this video is divided into 3 chapters, more or less. You can skip the chapters, you cannot watch the video, I literally do not care. But I kind of do. So please watch it. Chapter 1. Okay, imagine 2 people. Let's call them A and B, or X and Y, or Karan Arjun, Jai Viru, or you know what, you get it. So both of these people are really good friends and they're roommates. So that means they wake up together, brush their teeth together, they eat breakfast together, they go to work together in the same office on the same floor in adjacent cubicles. They get off work at the same time, get dinner together, and go to sleep together. Both of them live very similar lives, almost the same. But chances are, if you ask them what their lives mean, they'll have widely different answers. Which means that even when 2 people live the same life, they might think about different things, have different dreams, different aspirations, different hopes. Life is a different feeling for everyone. It's so amazing, maybe even hilarious, how every ant on the ground, every plant in a garden, every bird in the sky has their own individual exclusive life, different from every other life form coexisting with them. And that is pretty weird. Which brings me to chapter 2. Now imagine another person. Sorry, I'm asking a lot from you, which is not very passive video essay playing in the background while you do your work of me to do. But imagine. And imagine that this person is 12 years old. They've just started adolescence, and if you ask them what life is, they'll say something. Something that may be stupid, something that may be profound, but something. Now imagine the same person, but 10 years later, when they're 22. The inference is pretty obvious. They'd have a different outlook on life. A little more adult, as the kids call it. Which basically means they've done 3 things. Number 1, a little bleak introspection. Number 2, a little jaded observation. And number 3, a little ideological compromise. And the reason why the introspection, observation, and compromise happens is simple. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's trauma.
Emotional, damn it!
I know there are a million other specific things people call it, but trauma is an apt word. It's specific enough to know what we're talking about, but vague enough that it acts as a veil for every person when they don't necessarily want to show what they've been through. And that trauma, no matter what it may be, is what alters a person's perception of life and what makes it weird. But even when life is weird, it's still... You know what? Why don't I talk about this in chapter 3? I know what you're thinking. Oh, here's the needlessly happy and misunderstood advice. Here's the self-help, the hack, the optimism. No. And this may be a little cliche, so let me put in a little addendum. I am the least optimistic person I've met, but I still find life worth living. I'm way too hard on myself and on my skills, and I constantly overthink every living experience I have ever livingly experienced. And yet, I still find life worth living. Multiple people have opened up to me about the constant issues, problems, trauma they've been through. I've recognized and understood everything they've said and empathized with each one of them. and I still find life worth living. Why, you ask? You know what? Tell me this, when you eat an orange. Okay, this may be a weird metaphor to bring up out of the blue. Or out of the orange. But trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. So, when you eat an orange, do you eat the entire orange? Don't say yes just to spite me. You know it's not true. There's the peel, there's the rind, there's the seeds, and that white thready lingerie on the pieces. But have you ever not eaten an orange because of the bad parts? Side note, if you don't like oranges, imagine another fruit. If you don't like fruits, imagine any food. Also, if you don't like fruit, I feel bad for you. My point is, everything in this universe is by its very nature designed to be bad, in some part at least. You just acknowledge the bad parts for how bad they are. You cry about how much chewing those bad parts made your tongue bleed and your teeth hurt. But at the end of the day, you gotta spit out all the bad parts, my friend. Because at the end of the day, you gotta eat the orange. So, yes. And those were my thoughts on life. I know they were pretty weird, pretty long, pretty boring, pretty senseless for some people. But hey, I never said my thoughts are the only thoughts worth having. You might have your own opinion on life, or you know what, you may not even have an opinion on life at all. I just wanted to make good content for you all to watch. Because at the end of the day, I am just a 22-year-old kid who has unlimited access to the internet. Just telling you my thoughts on life. And like all of you, I'm out here trying to eat my orange.